Today I'm going to show you how to repair or replace your leading edge bladder on your Duotone wing. This process is relatively simple and very similar regardless of the year of wing that you have or model of wing that you have from us at Duotone Wing Foiling. So first tip is, if you can, make sure you do it in a windless, dry environment. Make sure your wing itself is dry as well, because this is going to make it a lot easier to reinsert your bladder. Then you're going to need to get into the tools that you want for this job: a cutting board or a magazine, flathead screwdriver, a length of line, your repair kit, any plastic bag, talcum powder. The first step is to remove your one pump clips on the one pump tube. Make sure you don't damage your wing by doing this. I'm using a chopping board just to protect against any damage. Pull off your one pump tube, allowing this valve to pop inside the leading edge. The next step is to get your bladder repair kit, which will be inside your wing bag, and take out your max flow valve key. Simply fit it over the top of the valve like that, and then turn it counterclockwise to undo the valve lock. This will allow the valve to pop inside the leading edge. The next step is to simply pop in the one pump valve inside the leading edge of the wing. Now we're ready to pull the bladder out. In order to access the tips of the bladder and to remove the bladder itself from the leading edge, you want to come down to each corresponding tip. You can see here on this patch that there are Velcro attachments that hold the tip in place. This is the same on each side of the wing itself. Take your kite line or bit of string that you're using to feed through the leading edge of the wing. That's going to allow you to pull the bladder back in when it comes to reinserting. Coming around to the second tip, we do the same. You're then ready to pull your bladder out of the leading edge of your wing. You do this with the access hatch and the access zip right here, and you just open that up and that will give access to your bladder. As you can see, when you pull it through, you will get to the string that you have previously attached. This is so that you can reinsert it. Attach that to something on your wing, which allows you to remember nice and easily which way it's going. Once you've removed your leading edge bladder, you will be able to easily assess how bad the damage is. If it's a small hole in your bladder, you'll be able to repair it with the patches and repair kit provided. If it's a larger hole in your bladder, you will be able to order a new one or replace it with your local dealer or on the online order system through our website. If it's not big enough to easily see, the best way to do this is to submerge it in water. If you've got a bathtub, you can use the bath, or you can use a bucket of water, or alternatively, you could just use a damp sponge. This is where you get your repair bag that is inside every one of your wings, and it comes with bladder repair patches. Once you've found the hole, you mark it with a pen, and then you get your patch kit. And then we are going to get one of the patches in every one of our Duotone wings, and we're just going to simply place it over the hole, and voila, ready for reinsertion back into the wing. Once you've ascertained whether you're repairing your bladder or you're just going to replace it, is to then reinsert it. Use a little bit of talcum powder just to freshen the bladder up and give it a bit of dry lubrication to make sure that it's going to go back in nice and smoothly. To reinsert the leading edge bladder, lay it out so you can visualize how it's going to fit back into the wing. You can see here the max flow valve lines up with the main valve, and the one pump valve lines up with the one pump hole. Simply fold the bladder over in that way so that it's going to unfold straight back in when I pull it through. So the next step is to reinsert the bladder. Fix the end of the bladder to the anchor lines. Feed that in there. And then we feed the valve back straight into the right place. want to make sure there's no excess plastic or excess bladder material being pulled through at the same time to avoid any damage to the bladder. Feed it in like that. Come up to the other tip. Simply pull it through like that. And then we're jiggling the wing just to make sure that everything's in the right place. Reattach the one pump tube to the one pump valve. Going to close off the one pump valve there to stop it inflating the strut. Before I have closed off the wingtips, I'm just going to put a little bit of air. Now, you don't want to inflate it too hard on this test because obviously you've still got bladder sticking out the end of the wing here. But we just want to make sure that the bladder is sitting in the right position in the leading edge. The talcum powder really helps because it helps the bladder to bed back into the correct position inside the wing. Now that we know that everything's in the right place, fold the bladder over like that so that the Velcro is corresponding to the Velcro patch on the inside of the leading edge like that. Finally, you want to make sure and double check that you have clipped the one pump clips back in place. This holds the one pump tube and stops it coming off when it's fully inflated. Just double check that with the valve key there. Make sure you have done the zip on the leading edge up correctly and all the way to the top, because if you don't do that, it could explode on the water. A test inflation. So there you go, that is how you repair or you replace your strut bladder on your Duotone wing. If you've got any questions about the process, comment below the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and I'll see you again on the next video.